A real estate professional knows that the quality and thoroughness of a presentation can make or break a listing opportunity. But real estate coach Verl Workman says beware. Handing out too much information can actually kill the deal. He found out the hard way twice over.
I remember going with my trainer to my very first listing presentation and sitting down with him and presenting the CMA. And everybody's looking at it and they're thinking, wow, this is really great. And I'm thinking I was so proud of it because it was glossy and had beautiful photos and it had that one shot of what I used to look like in high school on it, and that was kind of cool. And so we had all these great pictures and everything. I'm showing him all the things we can do for him. And I got all done and the client says to me, "Bro, that's really great. But is this something you can leave with us? Because we want to think about it." And I thought to myself, no, but how do you not leave it? How do you not leave it and create a good relationship with that consumer or that client? They wanted to see it. They said they couldn't make a decision. So I have a couple of options. I can say, no, you can't have this. I'll give it to you when you list. But that's what I call barrier selling. That's when you create a barrier that creates a conflict between you and the client. So I gave him the paper CMA. And we left there and my trainer says, "Hey, that was a great presentation. I think we're going to get that one." Well, then they didn't call me back the next day, and I called them, and they didn't return my phone call. Eventually I saw the sign in the front yard, and it was my favorite sign, the one that says, "For sale by owner." We had just given them all the information they needed to know to be able to sell that home themselves. And at that time, I decided I was no longer going to give away those tickets to the Be-Back bus. Now, what's the Be-Back bus? I learned about the Be-Back bus when I was selling hot tubs at the state fair. My first real business when I was 21 years old was satellite dishes and hot tubs. Yeah, I'm that guy. The guy that when you're walking around the fair, he comes over and says, "Hey, come check out my hot tubs." And you sit in the hot tub and there's no water in it, and then they give you something to drink and bring a clipboard over, and the next thing you know, you just spent $79 down and $79 a month on a new hot tub. That was us. Well, I learned at the state fair when people came by, they would always say, "Oh, we're just looking," or "We're thinking about it," and then they'd walk away. I remember one client, we'd given away, I don't know, probably 1,000 brochures at the state fair this year. My new sales guy, Sean, came to me and said, "Verl, I know some of these people, they said they were going to be back, and I know they're going to be back." And he had this huge stack of brochures. He said, "I'm giving these to everybody." It's got my name and my card stapled right on the back. And then I was walking with Sean to get a frozen lemonade, because that's what you do at the fair. And we're getting our frozen lemonade, and we walked by the Cal Spa booth. And sure enough, those nice people that said they were going to be back were sitting in a hot tub writing a contract for a Cal Spa. And I watched Sean's body language as he felt dejected, and he felt like they were so going to come back. They swore they were going to come back, and there they are writing another contract. Folks, the Be-Back bus doesn't come back, and that's when I taught Sean about the Be-Back bus. When you're handing out brochures or you're giving away your CMA, you're doing nothing more than handing out tickets to the Be-Back bus. And honk, honk, that Be-Back bus goes to Vegas, or they stop in Wendover, Nevada, and it doesn't come back.
Verl says if you want to be effective in today's real estate market, you've got to learn how to be a one-call closer. And you have to stop giving away tickets to the Be-Back bus. Thanks for joining us.